Hi guys, this is Larfen. Welcome to my inaugural episode of my Torbash video CNC series, in which I'm going to take replay submissions from users, and I'm going to critique them in a video, like the one I'm doing right now. This one's from Tengo. You may know him as a replay maker who's a little bit older school, not really old school like me, but like he's from around 2011. That was around his peak years, if I remember correctly. So let's take a look at his replay real quick. So we got ourselves a madman here, and let's take a bit of a closer look at it. So he's got an opener, and there's nothing really to be said about the opener here. I mean, he uses the ground efficiently. The opener does what it should, basically, is what I'm saying. What I do like is the amount of speed he managed to get off that kick from the ground. He only manages to get one dismemberment on that hip there, but the speed from his kick is very impressive. So he grabs the head, then comes in with another kick for the core. I'm pretty sure, one second. Oh, he also gets the decap with that, which is, I don't know if I like that. I think the decap is like always the icing on the replay cake. When you do a decap, it should be special, I guess. It should like either be the last hit or it should be a like distinguished hit. Like, this is the decap, look at this right here. And this is a lot more subtle. Like, the decap just sort of kind of comes with the core kick that he has. So I'm not sure if I like that. But the core kick is very nice, otherwise. Then he comes up, and a very nice punch right there. I love that punch. I have this sort of soft spot for punches that just break out that chest piece, or any hits that break out the chest piece, really. I really like seeing the chest piece just fly out. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite things. And then, the last kick right here is fantastic. I love this last kick, because it just doesn't look like it should even work. If you look at it, it's a hook kick. Hook kicks, they have a lot of power when you grab. Hook kicks almost always come with a grab. But this one, he's even in the air too. He manages to just bring his foot in. He's got so much speed, and then just takes off both the glutes. It's fantastic. I love that glute kick. It's very, very good. Take notes with this. This is amazing. That's a fantastic glute kick. Let's just look at it again, because I love it so much. It's so good. Look at it. It's fantastic. But then he gets into a pose. Good pose. But that kick, man. So, in general, I like the replay. It gets a little messy in the middle here, and I don't like the decap. I feel like the decap could have been better. But that hook kick is just so fantastic. I love it so much. And that's all I got for this one. So now for my second replay, we're going to be looking at Internet's Someday Believers replay. It's the most recent one at the time of recording. So let's watch it real quick. It's a nice little split cap. And I feel like it's very old school. Like, back in 07, 08, before I even joined, when people would use Wushu openers for single-player replays. I just think it's really interesting to see a replay like this in 2014. But let's take a look more in-depth at it. So, like I said, it's a very Wushu-esque opener with the move back into a helicopter kick. It's not exactly a helicopter kick, but it definitely has the beginnings of one, because then he transitions into this really nice spin here, into a great crotch block kick right here. I love crotch block kicks. I mean, everyone does, I think. They're just great. But I really like this spin. And then he just like falls really nicely into this pose here, and then just pulls out into another really good spin. He's really good at spinning, as he's showing in this replay. Just goes in, crotch block. Then he comes in with his other leg here, and the decap here I don't like. To be fair, I have no idea how he could have made it better. The angle is just terrible that he has, because when he pops him up from the crotch block kick, the Yuke's torso is in the way of him from his point of view. So he has to go through Yuke's torso to get Yuke's head. You can fix this problem in two ways. One, you can grab Yuke's torso, or you can do what he did and do this really weird poke right in there, which I'm not sure I like, but like I said, there's not really much he could have done about it. I guess another option is edit at the core kick. Edit at the crotch block kick and try and get his foot to, get him to spin in a little bit of a different way. Try and get a better position on Yuke's torso. But if he's anything like me, he probably didn't have the foresight to do it, and by the time he got into his spin, it was way too late to fix that problem. But to be fair, the decap kick isn't that bad. It's kind of cute, really. It's sort of like just pops the head right off. But it's not ideal, is the thing. And then he does another really, really nice spin after the decap kick. Right there. And he does this cute little punch on the torso. And that's the replay. Very nice spins, very clean. The decap kick wasn't the best, but other than that, I really, really enjoyed this replay. So for this last one, I'm going to be talking about Nearly's new replay. It's a tricking replay, so we're going to look through this real quick. To be fair, tricking isn't exactly my forte, but I've dabbled in it, so I think I can give a little bit of insight as to how this is good and how it could be better. Nearly has fantastic movement. He's one of my favorite. He is my favorite movement out of pretty much anyone. It's really smooth all the time. I love it. But let's take a look at this. So he gets into a nice little crouching position here, but he kind of stays in it for a little too long, I think. So it's, it's not the smoothest thing. And he swings through and everything, but I feel like he could have done it a bit faster and gotten a bit more momentum quicker. First little trick here is nice. Sort of flips himself over. I like it. Nothing too fancy. Looks like he's just building up for better things. And that little kick with the leg, I'm not sure I liked. Right against the ground right there. It doesn't look like it really fits with the movement. It looks like if he's going for your realism, that's not something that someone would do, I don't think. So, look at that real quick. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but I feel like it wasn't the best option for him in that case. Then he brings his arm in for another spin like that. And this move I do really like, this little over. When people use both hands like that, I think it's really cool looking, so I really like that. Left hand, then right hand, flips himself over again, and then lands for definitely the best trick of this replay, the spin that he does here. Lot of really good momentum there, and I like how he stays completely vertical. That's really hard to do, at least for me, to stay completely vertical for a spin. And it makes it look very nice. I really like it. And then he just sort of falls into an anti-pose in traditional Nearly style. So I liked it, but I feel like he just didn't really show off enough. Like when you're doing a tricking replay, you really need to pull out all the stops, and you really need to do a lot of spins and make it look really fancy. And this is just sort of This looks like a beginning to a different replay, or it looks like the setup to a better tricking replay. It doesn't look finished, which it isn't, to be fair. But I feel like if he posted this on the forums, which he has, you should provide a little bit more substance with the replay. This isn't really much, I wouldn't say. So, it's good, it just didn't really do much. And so that's it for my first episode. After this, I'm gonna have you guys, after this replay, I just got all these off IRC, but after this, you guys can send in your own replays to my email that I set up, LarfenCnC at yahoo.com. I'm gonna give a link in the description just to make sure you guys can see it. And you guys can send me in your replays, and then I might talk about them in the next episode, whenever that is. Probably like a week or so. I'm not sure exactly how often I'm going to be making these, but just send them in, and I might talk about it. Alright, see ya.